Welcome everyone to our weekly Facebook live show, Life Buildup, where we discuss your success, fulfillment, and balance. I'm your host Zawad, here with Hasan again, back in New York City, finally. Last 2 weeks,
back together.
Yeah, man, I'm happy to be here. Last 2 weeks I was in Dallas. Happy to be back in the city. Missed home, man.
Yeah, that's true. Whenever I go travel, every few weekends, end up traveling, whatever. And what happens is, as soon as the plane lands in New York, or if I'm driving back to New York, like you just feel this vibe.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, I didn't have that vibe before, but now as soon as I get into New York City, it feels like home. I mean, all the garbage and the noise and rude people, but it feels home.
Yeah,
it feels like home.
I mean, this is like me first time I traveled out after like literally 11 years in a plane and so forth.
Right, you're not a big traveling
person. But actually,
right?
yeah, I mean, I still traveled out of state and so forth.
Right.
But yeah, for sure, I can agree with what you're saying, that in the sense like when you're coming back to New York City, even though. I was actually wondering the back of my head is how would I feel when I'm coming back from Dallas?
Right.
And I was actually pretty happy to be back home.
And
despite all the negatives.
That's true. Like every time the plane is landing and you see like the craziness, right?
Yeah.
Like it's so jam packed, right? Like you see everyone lives in a box.
For sure.
Like it's in no other place you land like this, and you see like just boxes. It's so packed. But it feels like home.
But like looking down, it helps you zoom out.
Yeah.
You're like, God, there's so many people living in the city. And your problems become so small.
So many people live in one place.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Alright, anyways guys, welcome to the show. This week our topic is, what are you good at? All of us have strengths and weaknesses. And today we're going to be discussing why is it so important to find our strengths and actually focusing on them and growing them instead of putting time and effort on our weaknesses all the time and trying to improve on those areas. We can still improve, but our time and energy should be going in building our strengths. So
hey, what's up guys?
Exciting show.
So here we are on our episode number 16.
Yeah, came a long way.
Yes. So it's been what, 4 months?
Yeah, it's been 4 months.
4 months. Okay. Wow. So in this episode number 16, we want to talk about what in the world are you good at? And so what does it mean? What are you good at? What does that mean? So here, obviously, for this show, we are focusing on your strength. Now, I want to just what we are trying to discuss today is just to shift your mindset about this whole idea about strength and weakness, because I think a lot of time people, and especially growing up in you go to school, right, and teacher gives you marks. They tell you, okay, you're doing really well in your addition and multiplication, but you got to work on your vocabulary, right? So you learn from very early on that you find a weakness and you improve it, right? That's
the model that we.
That's the model. It's something that's honed into you, that you find your areas of weakness and you improve on them, so that you can be just like everyone else, right? And you can be a nice, rounded, circular person. Well, what I'm telling you, what we're telling you today, is that I want you to get rid of that crap out of your mind. In life, if you want to be successful, you have to hone in on your strength. Literally, you got to forget about the weakness that you have, and you got to not even focus on them, and you got to hone in on what you are good at. Now, why are we good at some things and we're not good at some other things? Now, there are a lot of ways of looking at this. One way to look at this is...
And before you even get in there, why is it, why is that? Shouldn't you, since you already have a natural incline towards, a particular skill set, you're already good in that, shouldn't you focus on improving what you're bad at, so that it kind of makes up for it?
That's true. So imagine if you all did that, right? If we all just said, okay, I have some knowledge about engineering, but I don't have so much knowledge about medicine, so let me get a little bit of medicine knowledge, right? And then
you're an engineer who's a doctor,
right? So and that's a very silly example, but really, I mean, you'll end up nowhere, because everyone is just doing a little bit of everything, right? You need mastery. You need people to focus in their time, their effort, their energy, their motivation, their soul and heart into something,
right?
So that we can all do this, because as a human being, we are supposed to live together, right? We are supposed to live together. You got some strengths, I got some strengths, You have some weakness, I have some weakness, and we're supposed to mix and match. It's like a puzzle. I look at human beings and humanity as puzzle, right? So we're one big puzzle,
right?
And I think everyone has a piece to play,
right?
And if we all just try to do that,
and everybody becomes the same puzzle,
it's
puzzle's not going to be completed,
right? We really can hone in on the human resources, the human energy, innovation, but we all have to do our part,
right?
So the point is to make sure that instead of looking at your weakness and what you're not good at, focus in on your strength,
right?
Because if you do your strength well, do what you do best, let others do the rest. Some people be like, oh, what's that? Are you being lazy or something? No, really, do what you do best. Let others do the rest. The world will function much better that way.
I think also when you focus on what you're good at,
right?
I think typically that's what you're also passionate about.
Absolutely,
and
absolutely.
what you enjoy doing.
So now you hit on a very good point about this, right? So if you're passionate about something, you're driven about something, you're gonna sacrifice more for it. You're gonna enjoy it more. You're gonna do it with much more drive and passion and strength. Versus you're not so good at it, you're not gonna put that much heart into it.
Right.
So if you want to really perform at an optimum level, you have to do something that you're good at. Right? I mean, classic example, certain sports that you enjoy, right? You know why you enjoy those sports? Like maybe you grew up playing basketball, so you're somewhat good at basketball, right? So when you go play, you always inclined towards playing basketball, right? Because you're good at it, and so you enjoy it because you can imagine a sport that you never played, right? And you go there and you try to play it, and you're not that good at it, right? So after a while, you just leave it, But now, of course, the other part of this, which is enjoying variety. Sometimes in life you want to try out anything. That's a thrill in and of itself. But anyways,
so what's the point with the basketball example? So basically, since you're good at it,
right?
Okay, that's why you enjoy playing it.
And so I was trying to make a point about the passion business. So because you're good at it, you have mastery in it, you're gonna find enjoyment in it. So in life, find, even they say career advice, right? Find what you're good at, and
get someone to pay for it.
Get someone to pay you for it. And because if you focus on doing what you're good at, you will be good at it. And if you are good at it, people will pay you for it.
Right.
Versus you have some mediocrity, then you're not gonna be too far.
Right.
Because you're just like average at it. Why would I want to pay average, engineer?
You could get anybody like that.
Yeah.
If you're average, there's a lot of average.
Yeah, there's a lot of
versus
I
don't
want to go into a heart surgery and do my doctor's average. No, I'm gonna look at ZocDoc and and just make sure he has a 5-star rating, right?
Yeah.
I mean, so nobody likes average people. Nobody likes average, and average doesn't result in innovation, in entrepreneurship, in growth. It just doesn't.
Because when you're mastering it, when you're passionate about it, then you come up with new ideas, new ways to do things. So,
yes, absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
Guys, if you're joining us right now, we're talking about what are you good at, and how to find your strength and hone in on that, and let go of this old concept that we've been learning from school about fix your areas of weakness. I'm saying that's garbage. If you're here, share the show, give us a thumbs up, give us a like, and share the show. The more you share, the more people will know that we're live.
That really helps us out.
Exactly.
Okay.
And if you're listening to us or watching this, after it's done, and you listen to a recording, share whatever if there's anything was beneficial, share it with your Facebook friends and family. So your strength, right?
I think we got that mastery. Okay, in one area is better than being average.
Yeah.
Right.
Now I do want to say though there's a problem of over specialization, right? Especially in this culture, we have this where people somebody's master at this left eye only, right? So I think there's also a balance of need to be aware of other fields. You don't want to be completely aloof from what other things, because everything is connected. So math is connected to chemistry connected to biology connected to physics. all connected. So I'm giving academic example, but anywhere, right? So you know this, right? You're someone who's an entrepreneur. You might not be good at making websites, but you gotta understand some stuff on the website, right?
Yeah.
Now it'll be stupid for you if you went around trying to learn HTML coding and graphic designing. Yet why would you be focused on that? That just builds your website to sell your product.
Right,
you got to focus on the marketing strategy. Right. You got to focus on how do I build a new product? How do I sell better? Right?
Yeah.
You can't be sitting around worrying about
So I have to focus on my strengths.
Exactly. Versus, your strength is the entrepreneurship.
Right.
Your strength is not making a damn website.
Yeah.
But do you have to know something about the damn website? Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to know something a little bit about it so that you're aware. So I want to make sure that when I say this, I want to make sure you don't want to be a.
So it's not like going like completely extreme to the that I need to master this thing and I need to know anything else. It's not that way.
No, I'm not saying that.
But just general things about like a field. You should have general knowledge about it. And I think as long as you're leading a productive life, those things come to you automatically. You don't have to necessarily go out there and find that knowledge.
That's true.
Or even if you do, it's not going to take you years to master it.
That's true.
Right?
That's true.
So do you think that's true, or do you have to spend time?
No, I think you should know your area of strength, right? And then also the what are related field, get a good grasp of it. Now, and again, we're talking very theoretical right now, but the point being is that the main thing is get this out of your head, what you were ingrained since kindergarten, that what areas are you having difficulty in, get a tutoring in it. That worked very well in school. That's not for life.
Right.
So there's certain fields I just don't know, and I'm not gonna bother trying to learn it.
Right.
Psychology is my expertise, and I'm gonna keep on learning that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know much about engineering, for example. Why would I want to learn about it?
Yeah.
I just like watching Net Geo and no, I want to sit around. I'm so curious. I watch documentaries. No, I mean, if you find interesting, that's fine. But really, you got to hone in on your.
But that's not your area of expertise.
Right. So the point is, it gets out of your head that you got to fix your areas of weakness. You got areas of weakness. I want you to not even worry about it.
Right.
Unless it's a life skill. Now you tell me you have issues, in basic living stuff. My area of weakness is I don't know, dressing up in the morning, brushing my teeth. No, that you cannot. As a very silly example, but certain life skills you have to have. You know what I'm saying? And that's why you notice even in college, right? They have core education.
Yeah.
Some people why the hell I'm trying to study business. Why I gotta take a biology course? Oh, I'm trying to study medicine. Why I gotta take a philosophy 101 class? There's some
truth to that.
There's some truth to that. Really, it is. You get exposed to all different fields, and you got a good idea. Now, I have a whole another rant about college, and I feel like that whole exposure business. It's on philosophy 101, psych 101, economics 101. Those should have been done all in high school. To be honest, that's way too late in the game.
We'll keep that for another episode.
Let's keep my rant about education system a little later.
Sure.
But so the point is, get that out of your head. Focus on your strength.
Yeah.
It is the most important thing. It's the best thing you could do for your job. When you go to your workplace, don't try to do everything. You focus in on one thing at your work, and you will shine. Business. You can't do all businesses. You got to pick a field. You got to shine, right? You got to know your areas of expertise. You got to know your areas of strength.
Right.
And you got to hone in on it.
Well, what do you think about this idea? In the sense that most of us, we spend around 9 to 5 job is 40 hours.
True.
Right. But then there's people who are overachievers, right?
Right.
And they use the time after work.
Yeah.
Okay. Or when it comes to school, let's say they're not working.
Right.
Okay, they want to double major.
Sure.
Just because they're overachievers and they make good use of their time.
Right.
So in that scenario, can you master into different fields?
One mastery could be interdisciplinary mastery. So your expertise could be in how biology and physics combine. That is a niche of itself.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So on a thing that I study is spirituality and psychology, right? So psycho-spirituality, see that term now?
Right.
That itself is my area of strength.
I see. So you basically combine those two.
But it still has to be focused and very laser sharp.
But again, you got a niche.
You got a niche.
You got the niche.
You got a niche.
Right.
That's the whole point.
Yeah.
You got a niche.
So it cannot be completely different.
No. I mean, no. Look, can some people, get a degree in law and then go get a degree in medicine? Yes. There are people who has JD and has MD.
Yeah.
Now, but by the way, a lot of those people who have JD and MD, they tend to end up doing medical law practice. So they sue doctors or other way around. But anyways, but if somebody really has that strength, that's okay. And I think that was my point I was making in the beginning as a caveat, was that I think sometime in this overly specialized culture we become too focused in on a specialty, right? And sometimes it's okay to have be a Renaissance man, if you will, right? I think we need to encourage Renaissance men, like people who do a few different disciplines. I think it's good. I think we need some of those interdisciplinary people.
But again, I think it's important, for people to know themselves and and see if they can handle two areas of study at once. So for sure.
And beyond that, this is about strength. This is about strength. Could be your character strength. You're not good at high intense situations, right? Or you're good at working with people, or you're good at coding. Or you are just because it's popular doesn't mean you should do it, and we'll get into that in a second. Because oftentimes what we want is one thing is what you're good at, nothing is what I want to be good at, and that's where people mess up big time.
Yeah.
Right. They want to be good at something because it's the most popular thing to do.
Yeah.
Not everybody.
Like right now, I think entrepreneurship is a good example of this.
Yeah, it is.
In the recent years, entrepreneurship kind of got this praise
right.
that it's really, really cool and everything like that.
Right, you make big bucks, right?
Yeah, and now everybody wants to have a startup.
Yeah.
And everybody wants to, just go into that lifestyle. So.
And it might not be for you.
Yeah.
We talked about this in another episode, I think.
Yeah.
So it might not be for you, and you got to think about that really.
Yeah.
Don't try to force something that's not you. Now what?
But what about this idea that if you just need to go, you just need to know where you want to go. Okay. Whether you have the capabilities of going there is not important right now. You can just focus on where you want to go, and you'll grow the skill set, the resources needed in order to get there.
So here's the second part of this, right? So where do strengths come from? So I think we talked about why is it we want to focus on strength. This question now actually brings me to the second point today, which is where do this whole idea of where is this strength business? Where does it come from? Strength comes from a big part of it is genetics.
No, I mean that's not the question I'm asking.
I'll show you what would it connect, because what you're asking is how do I develop new skills if I want to be good at it. It's possible. If I set my mind to it, I'm going to get good at engineering. Possible. Right. Now what I'm saying is that's going counterintuitive to how we are hardwired. Okay. So let me try to show you the balance. But then, what about passion? What about ambition?
I was trying to kind of.
What about vision, right? What about vision?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. No.
Isn't it about what you want? Okay, because a lot of times we ask people, what is it you want from your life?
I want to be a basketball player. Go to NBA, but I'm in my late 20s and I am 5'4", and that ain't gonna work out too well at this late stage.
Yeah.
I want to be able to fly.
Realistic.
I think I want to have a flying ability. That'd be cool.
So I think that's a very good thing that you brought up.
Right.
In the sense that there is this culture. Where people are like,
you could do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Follow your dreams.
Yeah.
It's BS. I believe in following dreams. Look, if any show will tell you to follow your dreams, it's gonna be like Buildup. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we really believe in following your dream and building what you're passionate about, but we are also about understanding balance.
Yeah.
Right. And balance
and being realistic.
And not, I don't want to say realistic necessarily, but I want to say you got to find realistic ways to get you on realistic goals. Right. But what that means is your passion has to be balanced with your strength.
Right.
So you could be passionate about something.
That's a very good way of putting it.
You could be passionate about something, but you're not good at it.
Yeah.
And you could get good at it, but the time is going to take you. Can I get really good at basketball? Yes, if I dedicate the next 10 years to just playing and really get my body fit, I could probably be pretty good at it.
Yeah.
But is it the best use of my 10 years?
Right.
That's the question it comes down to. You know what I mean? So if you're naturally good at something, you're going to find that you get better at it so much faster. That's my point. Now look, you want to dedicate your life to something you're not good at, you want to keep on grinding at it, no problem. You get a passion out of that, you get fulfillment out of that, good for you. You know, that's good. I'm not going to say don't do it. Right? But understand that if you're not going to follow through with your strengths, and you don't have only one strength, you have few strengths. You know, it could be that you're actually pretty good at engineering and medicine. You got to pick one though, right? So the point is, what are you strength at? What are you good at? Comes from few things. One big part of it is genetics. Look, God, nature, whatever you believe in, if we're hardware, we're just good at certain things. The way our brain, our biochemistry is.
So we're not a clean slate.
No, we're not. In
the sense that like we can develop any skill that we want. It's not.
No, we can develop any skill you want. Absolutely, we can. But is there?
But there's a natural.
There's definitely, according to all studies, there's definitely natural tendencies. You know, our brain wires a certain way. I'm thinking about it. Some people have strength in the left side of the brain versus the right side of the brain. There are actual, things that you can actually look in an fMRI scanner, and you could see the brain scans of people.
Should everyone get a
No. I'm not saying, and that's not necessarily to get you to find out your strength necessarily. But I'm saying there are personality structure. Yeah. There are, actual biochemistry in your brain that makes you good at something or not good at something.
So part of it is genetics. You were born with it?
Absolutely.
That's what you're saying?
Absolutely, you're born with it. Number two, it's your upbringing. So when you're young, you say...
Okay, when you go into this,
right.
I want you to be very practical and very specific.
That's true.
Okay, no vagueness.
Right, that's true. So I know psychologists love talking about your childhood, right?
But nobody knows what the hell they're talking about.
Right. So what I mean by that is when you're young and say you are drawing something, right? And they further reinforced you. They said, you know what? Oh, wow, you're so good at drawing. Wow, it looks nice. Then you grew up thinking, drawing, I get praises. Praises mean good because as a species, if you're praised, that means you get more food and water and you survive.
Yeah.
Right? So praises meant you further got strength in that. Or maybe you get along with people because you are the middle child, right? And people say, oh, you're so nice. You get along with the older brother. You get along with the younger sister. Ooh, nice. And you sort of learn, oh, wow, okay, getting along with people is a good thing. I get praises.
Yeah.
So certain strengths get emboldened. Or you had a really good teacher in 3rd grade who made you love math. Right? And so from a very young age in your brain, you have this idea that math is fascinating. I know this. I used to hate math. Until 8th grade. 8th grade, I had this teacher. I forget her name. She was just good. Like she made math fun.
Yeah.
I can tell you after 8th grade, when my perception of math changed.
Yeah.
You have no idea.
I think that makes sense. Like, in the sense that.
I know people who hate religious studies because they went to Sunday school or in their church or in their mosque, whatever, and they had a bad experience.
Yeah.
But
then they got like the exposure later on.
Yeah, sure, absolutely.
Yeah.
But so the point is, the exposure it was either reinforced or it was punished.
Yeah.
Your talents were either reinforced or punished, and that's what sometimes you were possible that you were in music class or art class, and then your parents said, what are you gonna do with that, right? It was negatively taken away from you, and so you grew up not thinking, you know what? Yeah, you're right. I actually gotta do medicine or something.
Right.
So sometimes those strengths are crushed or they're encouraged, depending on what kind of teachers you had, how your parents were, all that. That's how it plays a role.
No, I think like what you're saying is 100% like correct. In the sense like whatever in your childhood that you experience, the things that you get praised for, the things that are encouraged, those things become your strengths later on in life.
And sometimes those might not be your strength, but you've been holding on to them.
Yeah.
So you're not good at it, but because you were reinforced as a child, you kept going. Maybe, for example...
Yeah, what do you do then?
And that comes to our last part of our show, which is how do you find your strength? Right? So, and that's a good segue now. How do you find your strength? So, practically speaking, finding your strength, there are a few things to look at. Okay? One is
or how do you know that what you think your strength is, that's actually not your strength?
And I'm telling you, our third part of the show, and this final part, I'll tell you in one word what the answer is. Right? I could give you 10,000 tools on how to find your strength, but I'm telling you the biggest thing, you just got to try a lot of things. I really, you know, when high school kids, you know, they're trying to figure out their career, figure out their next step, I tell them, look, just go volunteer at a hospital, go volunteer at an architecture firm, go volunteer, you know, I'm just telling them, just do stuff. Yeah. Join your law
and see what connects.
Exactly.
Right.
You gotta just test try things.
Right.
You know, you can't.
But there's, I think, like, you know, even after that, like, you know, even after people do that stuff, you know, even then they're not able to, like, you know, confidently say that, you know what, I like this thing over this thing. Or people just say, you know, I just want to live my life, you know, having fun.
That's true. So also two things about that. One is, once you have a rough idea, you got to pick something and go with it. Because once you pick something and go with it, you start to master at it, and you're going to fall in love with it.
Right.
What I said just now. What I said just now was very key, though. I said it in passing, but if you're listening to this, like, you got to, like, pause right now and listen to what I'm saying. If you did that, you explored few things and you looked at a few things. Because why do most people pick the careers that they pick? Because they saw people around them.
Right.
Literally, I mean, people really choose careers based on what they saw around them.
Yeah.
A typical high school,
have any experience with it. Okay,
a typical high school kid doesn't have no idea what careers are out there.
Yeah.
Right. And you don't end up and people go to college and they get a degree and they go to their first job. Right. A lot of people watching this, maybe they're new in their career, and they hate their jobs.
Right.
You know, but they're so scared that I freaking invest in 40 years. Oh no, 100 grand of my life. You know, I can't change jobs now. Well, you can. Mm-hmm. You can modify your career path. You don't have to stick with it. You know, you're 26. Really, you're 24. Like, you got your first job. You could change it. Like, you could make it shift in your career path.
You're saying a completely different field?
It may for some people, it has to be that. For some people, it has to be that. Now, that's the whole point now. I'm going to connect these two things now, what I was saying in the beginning. Sometimes you think you're not passionate because of the work environment that you're in. Deep down, if that job paid enough, and why you need more money is probably because you have bad expectation of money. That's a whole different discussion. But it's probably because, one, you know, you have a bad toxic environment, and it making you not feel that good, you know. Mm-hmm. Some of the finance world, for example, you like finance, but you go in the finance world and chaotic in bank environment, cutthroat, especially in the city, and so you start to hate it. Right? They make you work 80 hours. So
there's some aspects to the job that you don't like.
You really love teaching. You got into teaching because you love it, and then you go and New York City public school. I know for New York City public school example, not talking trash on New York public school, but you know, some people have bad experience. Some teachers trying to get it, to get a license and whatever, it takes tough, and people get frustrated, and they start to lose love
for the teaching itself.
Yeah. So sometimes, same goes to the high school kid who tried a bunch of things and they're not feeling something. In that case, you have to just pick something that you just take a deep breath and go, okay, what I'm most feeling, just go with that and hone in on it. Put your effort, your strength, your energy, your time in it. You're gonna find that you're gonna build expertise. Once you build expertise, once you feel competence, you can also feel fulfillment.
Right. Yeah.
Very key point. Once you feel competence, you can also feel fulfillment.
Right. Is there anything else, like, you know, we can do in order to find out what we're good at?
Absolutely. There are plenty of tests online. Okay. There are a lot of, now you could take career quizzes.
There's a personality test.
Yeah, personality test. There's some free stuff online. You know, there's 16 personality factor, for example. I think I took that. And there are a bunch of others.
What was your result?
I forget.
You were, I think you were the guys, this is like a personality test you guys can take.
And again, there's a company I'm not promoting, but this is what I have found to be very good. If you want to find sort of I'm not talking about choosing career, I'm talking about strength. But there are plenty of, there's like career quizzes. Go online, type in career quiz, you'll find some things, and they'll tell you, it looks like you're someone that's good at working with people. Oh, you're analytical. And that's not BS.
Do you have the website on top of your head?
We'll link it. I don't have top of my head. No.
Okay.
People, that's not some shrink, stuff like, those things. No, it actually works. I'm telling you. You take a lot of those tests, you're gonna find your strength. You'll
see a commonality.
You will, guaranteed. And you have to begin to embrace that.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid that no, my daddy always wanted me to be a doctor, or I always wanted to be an engineer, or no, I want to be a social media personality. And no, you're not. Like that's not your strength, right? So you're gonna have to embrace it too.
Mm-hmm.
So So biggest thing is test try. Look, if you're young, even if you're not, there are. And another way to do this, if you don't want to test drive, meaning get a volunteer position or whatever, you could talk to people in the field already. Hear about their life. Hear about how is it in the morning. Hear about that. But anyways, shifting away from career, also strength itself. Know what you're good at. Right? You might be good at organizing. You might be good at the math side of things. You might be good at building things. You might be good at creative. All these strengths that you have, you want to use it even in your family.
Yeah.
Right. Family, your cousins, your uncles, your aunts, gatherings. That's if someone's getting married in the family, you can say, you know what, I'm good at organizing. Let me help you. Let me do that part of the plan. You don't have to do everything. Right. Find your strength and let other people do the rest.
Yeah.
Right. Even at your work, at office, your boss needs all kind of tasks. You have to actually tell your boss, look, listen, I'm actually good at putting together plans. Or you say, no, look, I'm really good at, if you want me to go order stuff from vendors, I'm really good at that.
Yeah.
Actually communicate that. Don't try to do everything. One of the biggest reasons why small businesses, don't grow, right? Talking about business now, is because owners want to do freaking everything.
Yeah.
Like you just can't. That's why companies don't grow.
Yeah.
You want to do hands on every little piece of information. Like this drives me nuts. Why do people, someone who is a physician, someone who is an engineer, someone who is an accountant, or someone who why are you trying to become an expert in fixing your house?
Actually, I have a good example for this. Like,
right.
Within my own business, I own an art supplies company.
Right.
It's the first time I, sharing that with you guys.
Right.
But, and in the back of my head, when I was first started doing a lot of content marketing, that's basically posting different kind of paintings and drawings and so forth. In the back of my head, I was actually thinking to myself, hey, listen, should I get into art and teach myself how to paint and everything like that? And I was like, yo, that was the stupidest idea that I ever had.
Right.
Excuse me. And then I ended up getting somebody, obviously, as a hire, who does that stuff for me.
Because they'll do it better than you.
Yeah, of course.
So it drives me nuts that people try to be good at everything, right? Like, you don't have to be good. You have to know. Now, for example, you got a house, right? You have to know about the house. There was, a few things around the house, fix things. But some people try to become an expert at everything. You got a car. You're not a damn car mechanic.
Yeah.
Why are you wasting your time? Spending I know friends whole half a day they spend on doing their own car. Now, if it's a hobby that you have, I understand.
Yeah.
You're a pharmacist and you like gardening and you read up on stupid gardening books and you like doing that for half a day. Great for you. You enjoy it. I have no problem with it. But you really gotta think about this, though. That.
So, when it comes to productivity and so forth, because that's the area that you're saying that it's not the most efficient way of going about it. Yeah. What about just asking people around you that, hey, listen, what do you think that I'm good at?
That's very good. Yeah, you definitely want to ask people, your close people around you. They know you very well. So ask people, what do you think I'm good at? So this is part of the whole last part that we're discussing right now. Before we close off, is that try out everything that you can. Take these personality tests online. They're free. A lot of these places. Ask people around. Okay. Absolutely. Ask people what I'm good at. Now, it's possible that...
So just ask your friends maybe that, can you just give me 3 of my strengths and 3 of my weaknesses?
Yeah, for sure. These are all ways to self-explore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I think we went on for long enough.
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
Guys, if you're listening to us on podcast, if you're listening to this as a replay, we really appreciate the time that you're giving us. We love doing this show. Every Monday night at 10 o'clock. I know we started late today, but next week we'll be on time. Monday nights at 10 o'clock. Thank you so much for giving us your time. We really, really appreciate it. Any final words?
No. I hope go ahead and find your strength and don't be scared and just zone in on it. It is never too late to sort of find that and hone in on that. Get rid of that garbage idea that you have to fix your weak sides. You don't. That's not how world works.
All right, sounds good. Okay, thank you so much for lasting words.
All right.
And I'll see you guys next week.
All right, guys.
Monday night at 10 o'clock.
Good night.